You're not lazy, and you're definitely not bad at discipline. You've just been taught to think about discipline in a way that guarantees failure. Because most people believe discipline is about willpower, waking up motivated, pushing yourself every day. But here's the truth: motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. And if your entire life depends on how you feel in the moment, you're going to lose that battle most of the time. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow, or I just don't feel like it today? That's not a discipline problem, that's a system problem. And this is where it gets interesting, because your brain is not designed to help you achieve long term goals. It's designed to keep you comfortable right now. So every time you choose scrolling over working, or staying in bed over getting up early, your brain isn't failing you, it's doing exactly what it's built to do: chasing the easiest source of reward. And that reward is dopamine, the same chemical that makes social media, junk food, and quick entertainment so addictive. So when you sit down to do something hard, like studying or working on a goal, your brain compares it to easier options and says, why would I do this when I can feel good instantly? And don't skip this part, because this is the real reason discipline feels impossible. You're not competing against laziness. You're competing against highly optimized systems designed to capture your attention and give you instant pleasure. And here's the mistake most people make: they try to fight this using willpower alone. They say, I just need to be stronger. But willpower is like a battery, it runs out quickly, especially when you're constantly making decisions, resisting urges, and dealing with stress. So instead of asking, how do I become more disciplined? The better question is, how do I make discipline easier? Because the people you think are disciplined are not constantly forcing themselves. They've simply removed friction from the things they need to do and added friction to the things they shouldn't. For example, if your phone is next to you while you're trying to focus, you're not lacking discipline if you get distracted. You're just in a bad environment. But if your phone is in another room, suddenly focus becomes easier without effort. And this applies to everything: going to the gym, working, building habits. It's not about pushing harder. It's about making the right action the easiest option. And here's another layer most people ignore: procrastination is not laziness, it's emotional avoidance. When you delay something, it's usually because that task makes you feel something uncomfortable. Maybe it's stress, fear of failure, or feeling overwhelmed. So your brain avoids it by doing something easier. And then you call yourself lazy, which just makes it worse. But the moment you understand this, everything changes. Because now, instead of blaming yourself, you can address the real problem: the discomfort. And here's a simple way to do that: shrink the task. Make it so small that your brain doesn't resist it. Instead of saying, I need to work for 2 hours, say, I'll just do 5 minutes. Because starting is the hardest part. And once you begin, momentum takes over. And this is where discipline is actually built. Not in big dramatic efforts, but in small, repeated actions that don't require motivation. And here's the key idea: discipline is not something you have, it's something you design. It's your environment, your habits, your systems. If your system relies on motivation, it will fail. But if your system makes action automatic, discipline becomes effortless. So instead of trying to change yourself, change the structure around you. Remove distractions, reduce choices, create routines, and focus on consistency over intensity. Because doing something small every day will always beat doing something big once in a while. And here's the result: when you stop relying on motivation and start relying on systems, you don't feel like you're forcing yourself anymore. Things just start happening naturally. You show up, you do the work, not because you feel like it, but because it's part of how your life is set up. So, to sum it up, you're not bad at discipline. Motivation is unreliable. Your brain is wired for easy rewards. Procrastination is emotional avoidance.
and the solution is simple. Build systems that make action easy and automatic. And if this changed how you see yourself, then you'll want to watch the next video, because that's where we break down how to actually build those systems step by step. So hit subscribe, and I'll see you there.